Okay, so idea was to join two records based on this query and fetch the common values from RDBMS to HDFS. So we'll use this database first and then we'll run this query. Okay, this is the output which I need in my HDFS, right? So after I'm kind of transforming this, I'm transforming or I'm processing it, or maybe I'm running a query, but this is not just an extraction. This is you're extracting records based on your query. Okay, and we can write such query. We can write such query in our RDBMS, and whatever data it is fetching us, we can embed this with our query in a scoop, and it will give you the same record which you're looking for. So currently I'm doing joining, which is a inner join. You can do left, right, pull, outer. You can aggregate, you can do group by. All this sort of query will work here. Okay, I'll give you one example. Other you can take as an assignment for aggregations and other things. So how this query will look like here, I'll say scoop. Let me increase the screen size. And always, to avoid the mistake, we should check the IP address, whether this is same or changing. This is my terminal. If I run if config, my IP is same. So no need to grant it again. I will go here and run this. So this is my output. This is my output. Here my query is as follows: scoop import hyphen connect JDBC MySQL IP address database name username password target directory target directory is must here, right? If you do not give target directory, query will not run. Why? I explained yesterday. Scoop opt joins space and minus query. Now I was giving yesterday double quotes. That was a mistake. So just because of one tiny thing, I think we struggled more than 10 minutes. So minus query, and I'll copy this query and paste it there. I'll copy this query and paste inside this. Okay. Change the syntax if you think there is any special character which is not coming as right in code part. So encoding is different in programming languages, in operating system as well. And here I will give dollar conditions to create a condition inside the query. Condition means this condition. This is a condition only where a dot r number is equal to b dot rid, inner join condition. So whenever you use simple hack, whenever you use minus query, one second. Whenever you use this minus query, dollar condition is syntax. You will have to write it. If you do not write it, it will throw you exception. Dollar condition is missing. Okay. So if whenever we use this for any kind of query or aggregation, extraction, anything, we'll have to pass this dollar condition at last. That's one syntax. Minus m and my both the table do not have any primary key. So I'll not use number of mapper multiple. Now question here. Suppose you have table 1, which is your student table, in table 2, which is your result table. So student table and result table, if one has a primary key, let's say this has a primary key, and this does not have a primary key, then also you cannot use number of mapper multiple. both the tables should have primary key, then only you can use number of mappers multiple. Okay, that's a point to remember. Now, currently I'm using one database, org, because my both this table are part of org database. What if this is in one database called A and this is in second database called B? Then how will I write it? Then I will not write database name here. I will use my table name along with the database. That's how we handle. So this will be written as like this: a dot student, because a student table comes under a database, and this result will be written as b dot result. So this 2 point, if you have same database, it's well and good, simple. If you have a separate database and you want to perform a join operation, don't write database here. Write database along with your table name and then submit a query. So this 2 point to remember. Enter. It will ask for a password, which is root. So internally they have submitted uh, the job. There's some running job is there. Can I see what conditions they're creating? So this is the conditions which are created by my scoop query. Number of split. Maybe we'll say number of split here. Let it start first. This is your resource manager location from where you can track your job. Always copy and paste it. 3 records retrieved. Can you see how many records were present when I submit this query? 3 records, 3 rows. Can we see and verify? So reconciliation is one of the biggest step, and I'll tell you what is a reconciliation. I was about to tell yesterday, but time did not allow us. Uh, reconciliation, we'll see it here. Reconciliation. So reconciliation, you're doing this. You're taking data from your MySQL, which is in one server. Can I call it as a server? Main machine. And this is in your another server, which is your HDFS. Operating system wise, we know this is in uh, Macintosh, this is in CentOS. This can be Unix or Ubuntu. This can be CentOS. This can be Windows also. This can be Ubuntu also. So server operating system can be different. Now from MySQL to HDFS, right? When this data is going, I should know how many table I'm extracting per day. My number of table. So my number of table, this is first reconciliation. Okay, my number of table should be equal to number of file or number of folder, which I call directory, right? Second, uh, number of rows in table should be equal to number of rows in file. I can check that using W command, WC command, word count command. It will count me how many rows are there. Then third reconciliation, number of column. This is what we do in production in real time cluster. All the data is extracted or not. Number of column in table should be same. Number of column or number of delimiter, because here we don't have column. I'll say number of delimiter in file. So here my file is stored like this, right? Let me give you one example. So currently this Ram, Pass, Robbie fail, Johnny fail, this is looking very elegant along with the metadata column name, right? So I know there are two columns, C1 and C2. How do I check this in my HDFS? This output is written in by default text delimited format. Ram, Pass, Robbie fail, Johnny fail. This is a text delimited format. Text delimited I'm saying because there is a text delimiter, comma delimiter. Okay. By default is a text delimiter. So this is my one column. This is my second column. If I just read it, column one, column two, I can reconcile it. So we can write a cell scripting for this. For reconciliation, we write a cell script. There is no predefined strategies written. Just like if you want to perform cleansing, if you want to perform archiving the data, you'll have to write a cell script. Inbuilt scripts are not available here. So whenever you want to make some job from manual to automation, when you want to make some job from manual to automation, you'll have to do this. You need to automate things. So this is the main three major steps of reconciliation to check the records are same in this side and in the second side or another side. Once this is done, then you do other reconciliation. So output we will validate here, and my output is stored where? In scoop join opt, some directory name was there. Let's recheck again. This is scoop opt joins. I'm running query HDFS. Let me clear the screen. HDFS DFS minus ls scoop opt joins. If you don't remember, no problem. You can just do ls first. And scoop join new. Oh, sorry, scoop opt joins. Scoop opt joins. This is my directory. Enter. Can I read the part file? Success is just acknowledgement, right? That's the output. Exactly the same output which we were expecting. So transformed and extracted the data after joining. You can run literally guys any query here, and you can embed that with your minus query. This is how simplifies your job, and you can extract any information based on your requirement. After joining, after single table extraction, then with primary key, without primary key, next approach I will take for eval. Next approach I will take for eval. Eval is mainly for evaluation. Okay. And eval can perform all sort of operations. It can do DDL, it can do DML, it can do DRL. I'll tell you all three. So eval is giving me, eval is accessing from HDFS to RDBMS. So you'll amazed to see from HDFS I will create the table. From HDFS I will create my table in RDBMS. From HDFS, I will insert records in RDBMS. From HDFS, I will run query in RDBMS. This is how eval makes your job simpler. A script we need to write, Suminda. Currently, I'm not writing any. I'm just checking 3 and 3. This is not a reconciliation. This is a manual reconciliation. If I want to check millions and billions of record, I need to write a script, cell script. This is required. That's what I said. This cell script is required to convert your approach from manual to automation. Okay. Now we were in eval, and let me write the query first here. So DDL means what? DDL means table creation. Can we create one table in DDL first using this terminal? Okay, my flow is this: HDFS to RDBMS. I'll say query, I'll run there. Okay, so I'll perform this one first DDL, DML, and then DRL. So query is as follows here: scoop space. Now I was using import to extract the data. Now I will use eval. Rest of the thing is same. Connection URL, which is minus minus connect, JDBC, MySQL, IP address, database name, where you want to create the table first. So let's create the table in org only, and minus minus username, which is root, minus p. Let me show you one this also. It's not recommended, but I'll show you that how it works. Root minus e for eval, minus e for eval, and then I will run a query. First I'm doing DDL, so I'll create my table in RDBMS, and that table is create table PSLV. So I'm creating a rocket launcher table, that what's the total ID is integer, and number of satellite center, which is varchar. So can you see my syntax? This is exact same syntax which I submit or run in MySQL. So instead of writing this query in RDBMS, I'm writing here now. So this is allowing me to create the table. This is one function given by Scoop. If you want to run such operation, you can do that. Number of mapper is not required here, because number of mapper will be required when you are doing operation from HDFS to RDMS to HDFS, and one operation only from HDFS to RDMS, which I'll come in a while. Okay. Exactly, Ansika. That's the same query used in MySQL. To perform DDL, DML, and DRL, I will run exact same query. It's a replica of my RDBMS query. Okay, no changes. But only I'm embedding with the scoop. That's it. I'm just embedding. I'm connecting with the scoop thing. But query part is same, right? This query part is same, and communication wise, it is going from HDFS to RDBMS, or my Hadoop server to RDBMS. You can say that way, because I'm not taking data from Hadoop. So I'll not say HDFS. Let's say this is from your Cloudera machine. Scoop is installed in your Cloudera machine. So Cloudera machine to your RDBMS. Let me submit it. Number of mapper is not required. Okay. We'll go and verify this. So what it says, you have an error in okay, I think I have not given a space in my, okay, space was not given. Let's retry. So 0 row updated means this is acknowledgement from RDBMS. Now I don't want to go to RDBMS. I want to check everything from here. I want to see my table. I want to see my records. Syntax is important, guys. So in query minus minus query, you are writing single quote. In eval, you are writing double quote. Okay. So these are some level of syntax defined by Scoop. For Oracle, it's pretty similar. Postgres, I have not worked more on the Postgres side. So concept is same, but maybe syntax may be little different. But what concept we are working in a scoop, this is exactly same. It's creating a tunnel to extract your data and push it to HDFS. The same way we'll be doing in our in Postgres also, in MicroStrategy also, if you wish to work with it. Now, can I check it from here? Can I check whether the table is created or not? Let me clear the screen. I'll not go to RDBMS. I'll test everything from here. So what is the query to check table? I'll say show tables. Can you see PSLV table? You can use describe and all operations. You can do it. So mainly your DBA team sometimes do not give you access of RDBMS. In such scenario or cases, you can work like this. You can access your RDBMS from here. Desk and table name, PSLV. Int is ID and S center. Now I'll insert one row. I'll insert one row to see whether DML is working or not. Insert into PSLV values. ID is 1, comma. What was the second? Center, right? So the center is Gopalpur in Odisha. There is another row I'll write as 2 and Pokhran. And third in Sierikota. Enter. What is the problem? Okay, maybe length is a problem because I think I defined till 7th only. So keep, and this should work. Still, is it size was 5? Let me just keep till 3, guys. I forgot what was the character size. Let me keep this 3. Uh, Integer is 11. Character 7. Just a second. I think insert into table name values. First one too long. This first one is throwing error. Okay, yes, the first one is throwing error. Thanks for. Actually, I often confuse between these characters. Anyway, excuse me. We'll keep it till 4, 4, and 3. Okay. So 3 rows updated, and this record must be there. Now, can we run a query to check the record, which is our TRL? So DML is there, right? DML is there. And this is DRL. Select star from PSLV. So records are there. If you want to update, you want to delete, you can run such operation. Delete the value from this table. Can you run a count star from this? Count star, number of rows. So all this query will work. I've submitted DDL, DRL, DML, all three things. This is what your eval does. Next operation after eval is import all tables. So just one import is taking one table at a time. Now, what if I want to take multiple tables at a time? Import all tables. Okay. From the name itself, we think that it will bring all the table, but I have two cases. In first case, I want all table from ORG database. It will take one database at a time and bring all the tables. So inside ORG, I think we have 3 to 4 tables. And then in second case, these are my cases. These are my different cases. In second, I want only 2 table. Only 2 table. So one table, all table from one database, and then only 2 table from one database. How will run a query for this? Scoop. Again, I will change my argument. So this time it will be import hyphen all hyphen tables. Connection URL same. IP address. Database name, username, password, and target directory do not define again here. Why? Because if you define one target directory, I'll tell you. There's a reason again. With joining, you did not define target directory. Here also, you should not define target directory because it will throw exception. Let's say you say minus minus target minus directory, and you give a directory name as all table, just some random name. When you type all table, this is one directory, right? So inside this directory, how all table will fit? Because all table has a different number of column. Maybe my table one has 4 column. My table 2 has 2 column. My table 3 has 7 column. Likewise, we have different columns. So the dimension is not same for all the top table. The dimension is different. That's why target directory will not work in the case of import all tables. However, there is one more parameter named minus minus warehouse directory. So if you don't want to keep at your user Cloudera location, you can give path. This is just we are setting our value at different locations. So if you give minus minus warehouse directory, you can give anything. You can say XYZ, or maybe you can say big data first and slash. So inside this big data, all the table will be listed, appended. Table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4. But this will not work here. This is written, the script is written like that. The warehouse directory will work. Okay, we'll see both. First, I will not give anything. So by default, where your data goes, if you do not define the target directory, your data goes to user Cloudera. This is a fixed location. So we have written already a point that when my target directory is not defined, my data will every time go here. But what if I don't want to get it here? Then I can give warehouse directory, especially in the case of import all tables. We'll check first with the by default one. Then second, we'll check with the warehouse directory one by one. Table name I'll not define because I need all the table, and number of mapper, which is 1, because my all the table does not have a primary key. Now, suppose you have 4 table here. Okay, so let me not guess it. Let me seed actually how many tables are there. So tables. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tables are there. Okay, so when 6 tables are there, you know what will happen now? 6 times your MapReduce job will run. Because when you submitted one table, one MapReduce job is started, and then it followed all resource manager, task, and splitting, and then writing the data. Then if it is T2, there will be another job. If this is T3, there will be one more job. T4, fourth job, so on till 7 is 7 job. But currently all this job will run sequentially or parallelly. What do you think? My system is just one, right? I'm working with a single node machine. I'm working with a single node machine. So it will use the sequential approach because I don't have much core CPU or RAM available. My resource size is very low. But if I have multi-node cluster, I have multiple slaves working, multiple masters there supporting high availability option, then I can use the parallel. Internally it is doing that's I'm not deciding it whether it is sequential or parallel. Internally my Hadoop is taking care of it. My master is taking care of it. But since this is just one machine, remember it's a sequential job. First this will run, then this will, and so on till last. Enough theoretical. Let's submit this and see the output. Okay, guys, so my job is failed. You know why? I think one job is submitted. My one job is submitted. Maybe let's go and see. This is my query where I submit and import all tables. Yeah, this is my query where I submitted, but my job is failed. You know why my job is failed? Because storing this is storing all my record inside this directory. User Cloudera, and this folder is already present. So it tries to check this, and since this is already available, Hadoop says this is already exist. And if my job one is failed, my other job is obviously failed. This is what is the problem with sequential? This is the problem with sequential operations. If my one job is failed in this queue, suppose this is run successfully, this is run successfully, this is failed. The moment this failed, this is all failed, right? That's the problem of your sequential thing. Okay, so I have two options now. I should go to user Cloudera and delete this manually, or I should write directly inside warehouse directory. So let me take this approach. Warehouse directory, it's just that I'm taking this data to different locations according to my wish, and that can be anything, xyz or any folder name. Let me clear it first. So I can handle it, but I don't want to go to user Cloudera and delete my folders manually. So what is the better approach? I feel I should write this warehouse minus directory, and here I will give big data slash, and let's see this big data is present or not, because if this big data is present, then again my job will fail. So to avoid the confusion, we'll revalidate. Do we have big data? Yeah, big data is present. So let me give big data underscore new. Do we have anything big data underscore new? Okay, big data new is not there. So warehouse directory will be big data underscore new. That's it. Simple. And submit again. I think this is the last job. Fine guys, so job is done, and let's go and validate. So this directory is big data new, hdfs dfs hyphen ls big data underscore new. Now you will see that all this table 1 2 3 4 5 6 all this table are appended next to this. And if you want to see the output, you can do one thing. You can cat inject this output recursively. So cat get this output, and let's first list it. So ls hyphen r I should write, and star, or maybe it will take me all the data directly. This is all the records. This is output of PSLV. This is output of AWS. This is output of uh, cloud, result, student, whatever I have created so far. Okay. So now import all tables is done. Warehouse directory is also done. That if you want to keep it at your own location, you can pass minus minus warehouse minus directory. After this, there are two miscellaneous tool. Uh, we can run that query using eval also, but miscellaneous tool is given. I think this is with older version of scoop, but yeah, older thing is available in new thing also. So we can use it, and this is for list databases. If you want to list this databases, and if you want to list the table, this is a miscellaneous tool. List tables. Can we see it how to list databases and tables? Simple query. I can write the same thing using eval also, okay? Because what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to run again a query from HDFS to RDBMS. Scoop, change your argument list databases hyphen connect JDBC MySQL IP address 168.41.1 space minus minus username root minus p. That's it. No need to give mapper because you're not going to be doing any extraction. You're just listing. So whatever database is present in my database will come here. Can I see table from one database? This time I will see table from PRWA database. List tables, and here I will give my database name. So this is my table name present in this. So import all tables, eval, list databases, list tables. This is all done. Now can we export whole file from here to RDBMS? Can we export it? So just like import, because eval is writing manually, we're not taking any data from HDFS, right? We're writing from a scoop job manually. That's why I did not write their number of mappers. But what if I want to do export? This export is actually doing HDFS to RDBMS. Just like if you have done ever any bulk loading of file in RDBMS, there's a bulk loader concept, right? So this export, you can call it a bulk loading. It's a bulk loading of Hadoop. If you want to get data from HDFS to RDBMS, export will help you. It will take the whole file and directly write inside this RDBMS. Okay. So we'll do one thing. We already have one record available in HDFS in a form of a scoop join output, and that is HDFS DFS minus ls slash scoop joins scoop opt joins. This is the uh, file name where I have my records. Now I want to write the same record in RDBMS, but let's see first number of records present in this. Copy and paste. I can see this record first, second, both are characters. Now, what is RDBMS? Can we go basic of RDBMS and again see some point in relational database side? RDBMS says, before doing anything, I only work with this concept. Predefined schema. We should have a schema for this and this, then only it will work. It should not have more than this, not less than this. Exactly two schema, two column along with a right delimiter. Right, uh, right database value, which is my varchar and varchar, or I can call it. It is a typically data types, right? So predefined schema, your RDBMS first requirement. They're very uh, r- they're performing OLTP operations, but one big limitation why they're not fit for big data is this: they're very strict towards their rules. They say we'll have to define first table type, then only we can insert it. But in our big data, our case is because we even don't know what is data. Then how can I know whether this is integer or varchar? So that's what, when you work with a big data, you don't know what data is coming. What is the type of data? You hardly care it is integer. You care first it is a structure, semi-structure, or any structure. Once you know this, then you go and see the types of data. Okay, and that's why they say we cannot handle it. This is why if RDMS would have handled, okay, it just thought process of me. If RDMS would have handled this using parallel computing concept, or using taking all the data, then we may not need Hadoop. We could have done everything using RDMS only. But since they're giving so many limitations, that's why we did not have any choice to leave this RDMS and work with Hadoop and some other NoSQL concept, which is a distribution of data. Okay, let's do this. First, we'll create this. First, we'll create this schema. So I can directly create a schema from there, or I can create a eval from here. Since I'm doing from Hadoop, I'll do all things from here. I'll submit scoop, import, eval, or can I take my previous query, scoop eval, and this query is create table. This query is create table, create table topper, name is varchar. This is still 3 plus 3 6. Maximum 6, 12 give 6, and this is 4. So remark is also varchar, and this is 4. Enter. So inside of org we'll have this table named topper. Done. Next, I'll export it. So export command is this: scoop export, minus minus connect JDBC MySQL IP address, database name. These are same: username, password, which table you want to refer, topper, and what is your directory. Now this time I will not say target directory, guys, because I'm not exporting, we're not importing from RDBMS to HDFS. We're doing vice versa. So this time it will be export directory in place of target directory. And export directory, I'll give a path of this. This is my data, where my data is present in HDFS. This is a location of path. Paste. Number of mapper. Since you're doing from HDFS to RDBMS, you need a mapper. Whenever you do HDFS to RDBMS operation, you need a mapper. First note: whenever you do any operation from HDFS to RDBMS or RDBMS to HDFS, you need a mapper, because mapper is a concept of HDFS. Right? Submit. Root. So this is like a bulk loading. exported 3 records. Okay, so can I see it now from table side? I can run an eval query again. So I'll check it from here also, and separately I'll go to my MySQL also to see this. Query is select a star from topper. Select a star from topper. And same data I can see it here also. So tables will give me topper, and select star from table name, right? So export is also done. Now one last query for today. Import all tables is done, but we have discussed only about the case number 1. We have not seen the case 2, which is only importing few tables from one database. So all table from one database, only few table from one database. I'll just use one parameter. So scoop space import all tables, and here you'll see what I'm doing. Let me write this as new folder. Okay, new one. And I think new also it should take, but okay, this folder is already present. I'll not take a risk. Big data underscore new one. And here I will write minus minus exclude minus table, exclude tables. And then I will write a number of tables. Now if you're thinking, do we have any include option, include table option? We don't have any include option. We have exclude hyphen tables. And I will write all the table which I don't need. So from this database, if I run so tables, let's say I just need this PSLV and cloud. Other I don't need. So I'll write here topper. I don't need this table. I don't need AWS table. I don't need result student and test underscore txm. Done. Exclude tables. That's it. And enter. It will just give you 2 records. Root. What is the problem? Exclude. Okay, maybe it's exclude table. Exclude table. Wait guys, there is some exception again. Table. Let me see the syntax in my mail. Exclude tables. This is pretty similar. Why it's not working? Maybe I'm also thinking a space in table name may be one troublemaker. So they're very sensitive. Like if you make a small space also, it immediately throws exception. No, that's not the case, but okay, tables. Now it is working. So yeah, problem with the space. It should give us only 2 table and we'll verify. This is second job. Okay. Let's go. It says that it's keeping this table, right? Because we have given there. So HDFS, DFS. I'm directly going to my big data underscore new one and slash list down the table. Seeing the output one by one that you can take as an assignment. So this is my two different folder, and records are not there or not, I can recursively check. So this is my one table record. This is second table record. So this is how guys scoop will work. This is just a 30% of a scoop we have completed. Basic scoop. This is a basic scoop. Basic scooping. Tomorrow we'll see advanced. As in Monday we'll start with advanced query with 70 other percent operation. Advanced query, when I say, let me write it. So I want to do work with a incremental approach. I want to take only new record, updated records. Then I want to do data compression. Then I want to use a number of map column Java, overriding, type overriding, right? I want to handle my null values. I want to only get two columns. So this kind of operations will come with an advanced scope part.